Everybody, Michael here from Replica Airguns with an indoor field test shooting comparison video. I've got 5 guns here. What do we have? We have the PPKS by Umarex. We have the SIG Sauer P365. We have the ASG Bursa BP9CC. We have the Umarex Walther PPS M2, and then the Umarex Walther, Beretta. We're getting a little ahead of myself here. The Umarex Beretta, and this is the 84FS, a little bit older. So watch my tabletop video where I compare all these guns. The whole point of this video is to compare more of the compact versions of the guns together, the smaller CO2 Blowback BB Pistols that I pretty much have on hand here. There might be other ones, but these ones all were kind of in the same size, ballpark, blowback, roughly the same FPS within, roughly 50 FPS of each other. We're going to find out. I have compared the PPS before, or the PPKS to the Makarov, KWC Makarov PM. That's a whole other video. And that video kind of, got people asking me other questions about other guns. So I thought, let's compare to some other guns that kind of came up. So here we're going to do the chrono portion of this test. Then we're going to do accuracy portion of the test. Now this is the only gun that has a used CO2 in it, but I've only fired maybe 20 rounds through it. And it's, it's had time to sit and kind of warm back up. So it did get 285 FPS or 286 average last time with 5 shots. I'm going to shoot 5 shots through it again, see if we get something similar. If it's a little lower, then we'll kind of know why. All right, here we go. Take it off safe. We're just going to get through these guns really quick. 293, 284, 277, 267 is dropping a bit. It did last time. So it might average out, that was 261. It might average out a little bit lower. That's okay. We're not worried about it. Now this gun only has 12 or 13 rounds in it, I believe, right now. So we might only fire 3 rounds because I want to leave, or 4 rounds. I want to leave 10 for the actual target portion. I put 15 rounds in every gun. This gun just holds, it says 12, but I put 13 in it. So let's fire 3 rounds and see what we're left with here and see if we get a decent reading. I remember doing this before. I remember it coming out kind of out of the hole, a little bit weird. So let's try it again. Okay, we're getting like next to no power. I'm just gonna do something with real quick, just to give it a little help. Sometimes this helps. Okay. Now, I don't remember if this happened last time. This gun obviously can shoot faster than that. Let's see if it just, speeds up a bit here. Not really doing well. 116. Okay. We're getting really bad performance, as you can see. Let me try this one more time. Okay. We're not even getting any blowback. Nothing. It's just not putting out enough CO2. There we go. Okay, so what I did, let's reset this. I just don't think the CO2 was quite pierced enough, so I backed it off and then I re-pierced it. So I backed it off to the point where it was letting CO2 out and then I re-pierced it. That does sometimes happen with guns. So we're going to start it now. I'll just have to load in some more BBs later on. So here we go. First shot. 251. 244. 250. Do one more. 250. We'll do one more. I'm going to be putting BBs in this thing anyways. So we should have had 5 there. It stayed pretty consistent once we got the CO2 properly pierced. That's a very important thing to do. So if you have that problem, if it's just like barely shooting BBs, not blowing back, then you know what the issue is, okay? So anyways, let's do this guy here, the Bursa BPS. All right, here we go. 374, nice and hot. 322. This one feels good. 331. 370, one more. Nice and hot. We're gonna put the safety on because it's locked and loaded. Okay, and we're gonna do the PPS M2. Should be okay there. We'll just average these out. I'm not really sure which one's gonna be the fastest. So far the Bursa's doing the best here. 366. I'm not sure what that error was. We're just gonna reset this just in case. I think that was 366. It might have been from the last one. I don't know. We'll just reset the chronograph real quick here. Okay. 358. 361. 356. Do one more. Okay, let's put this on safe. It's got a cross bolt. Okay. And so we'll average those out. So far it looks like the PPS is second, and the Bursa BP9C seemed to be the hottest. The PPKS was probably next, and then the P365 so far is the slowest. Okay, so let's try the 84FS, the Beretta. See what we get here. Whoa, 318, a little glitchier trigger. 321, 315, 311. I think we need to do one more. I'll have to count these up. 346. Okay, 341. So this is probably, I'm going to say, the third fastest, then the PPKS, and then the 365. So it kind of goes, I would say Bursa fastest, PPS second, 84FS third, PPKS fourth, and then P365 fifth. So let's set up some paper targets here. Put that in safe. 30 feet down range, and let's see what kind of accuracy we get with all of these pistols. All right, I'm pretty sure we have enough BBs in each of these guns, so hopefully we're gonna have 10 rounds out of each. If we're missing one or we have an extra one, so be it. We'll just kind of do our best to figure out which one's the most accurate. Now remember, this last time, it shot a little bit up to the right, so I'm gonna actually aim a little bit down to the bottom just to get this a little closer to the bullseye, just because I know how this gun shoots. So let's try this out here. That was 9, but I thought it was 10. I thought I had 10 rounds in it. I even counted with this one. All right, so let's take a quick look. Yeah, it kind of sprayed just like it did last time. That's pretty much what I was expecting, but I was a little more closer to the bullseye. So we had like this one and this one come out. Other than that, it's like 4 inches or about 3 inches. So it has the potential of, you know, shooting 3 to 4 inches, but it does seem to spray them a little bit, and that's exactly what kind of happened last time. Let's move to the next pistol. So that was the PPKS, Umrex Walther PPKS. Now we're gonna do the P365. Should have enough rounds in it, hopefully. Let's give it a go. Okay, so we're gonna just aim right for the center and see what happens. Slowing down, it seems. Okay, lock back, which is what we wanted. Okay. A little low on the target. Again, spraying them out a little bit. That's okay. You know, little pistols, not always the same accuracy as a little bit larger pistol. We're gonna say, you know, we'll throw that one away, and we're gonna say this is about a 4-inch group there. A little bit low. It felt like it was slowing down a little bit. I do like the trigger on the 365. It's short and it's pretty crisp for sure. The PPKS is definitely a nice trigger as well. Both of them have nice blowback. They're both single action only. Crisp little blowbacks for little guys, so not worried about that. Okay, take it off safe. BP9CC all day long. Let's see how this guy goes. Again, it's shooting just dead center. There might be one more in there. Oh. Okay, it's not locking back. I think I got 12 shots out of that one, so that's a little bit unfair, but it performed nicely. You know, we'll throw that guy out there. This is a 2-inch group all day long. Not too bad centered. I was aiming right for the bullseye. They kind of, along this plane, were nice and, 1 inch roughly, and then they kind of got a couple down here. But has a nice trigger, has a nice blowback action. Too bad it didn't lock back. Not sure why it didn't. Yeah, but a little bit of take-up on the trigger, but it's definitely a light single-action trigger. Just has a little bit more take-up than some of the others. Okay. Next up is the PPS M2. All right, and we are off the safe. 10 rounds, let's go. We're getting through this. Okay, lock back, that was 10. Yeah, pretty sure that was 10 rounds. Lock back, everything is what we'd expect. This guy, performed well, was one of the hotter shooters for sure. So the PPS is up there in feet per second, really close to the Bursa. They were really close. And they're pretty close in terms of accuracy. Throw this one out. We got like pretty close to a 2-inch grouping. Oh, we had one come down here. But pretty close. I'm sure this gun could do a 2-inch grouping just as easily. So maybe the Bursa at this point is taking a slight advantage or slight lead in terms of power and accuracy, but very close to the PPS M2 at this point. Okay, but the PPS did lock back, so it has that. Not sure why the Bursa didn't. And last but not least, going back to a little bit of an older gun, the Umarex Beretta 84FS. Okay, this one definitely doesn't have the nicest trigger. It's okay, but it's got this sort of roughness, friction-y thing, and I think that's while the BB's getting pushed, or what happens on these guns with this type of magazine is there's like a little, the BB gets pushed into the breech to help with efficiency and power, but you definitely feel it. One. Okay, that might have been 9. It's locked back though, so that was about 9 shots. Looks like we lost some paper down there, some cardboard. That's a pretty decent grouping. Another close to 2-inch grouping, well centered, really, just a little bit to the right, a little bit high. The trigger, I have to say, did smooth out. So when the magazine's full, so you get that spring really full, it means that when this, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but when this kind of moves forward, this moves forward as they pull the trigger to push a BB into the breech. So I don't know if you can see this. So what happens, it might be out of focus, is it kind of comes forward, pushes a BB, that whole thing. So maybe a little lubrication right here on there, and maybe in the magazine, lube up the BBs a little bit, might make a difference. As the spring got looser, it seemed to have less friction. But at the beginning, you could definitely feel that friction a lot more. So in terms of accuracy, we're definitely going to say that the PPS and the Beretta and the Bursa definitely were at the top of the list in accuracy. The Beretta probably third. I'm going to say the PPKS and the 365 were pretty close together in terms of accuracy, and you kind of know what we went through in terms of power. So overall, I'm going to say in performance, the Bursa and the PPS were really close overall, okay? Then I'd have to say Beretta, and then I'm gonna have to say the PPKS just because it didn't give me that CO2 issue. Once I did get the 365 working, it worked perfectly fine. It's a nice little gun. It's so small and compact. You're gonna trade off some performance, just like there's nothing else like it out there that's so compact with full-size dropout magazine, literally full blowback action. So, hopefully SIG comes out with maybe a new version of that in the future, just with a couple little tweaks. It might increase performance just slightly. Hopefully they do that because it's a really cool gun and it's got a lot of potential. All right, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Username is Replica Airguns. Also check out replicairguns.ca and replicairguns.us for our online Canada and US stores. where we sell air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories. And we have a ton of reviews. Like, I'm talking tons of reviews. I think we've got close to 1,000 videos with 1,000 little reviews and things over on replicairguns.com and on, of course, the YouTube channel by now. So there's tons of videos and information out there for you guys. So check out replicairguns.com. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.